Stop looking at my girlfriend, midget!
Ian, please.
What the fuck, you fucking her? No way in hell. Just let me tell you, there's only one guy who fucks her, and I fuck her real good. So go home and fuck mum now, you dementia talk.
If your psychological tolerance is not strong enough, it is recommended to watch this movie with caution, because someone who can write this kind of plot, I even suspect the director is a perverse madman. John's name is John. Having been sexually abused by his father for a long time since childhood, his mind gradually became extremely twisted, and the movie he was most obsessed with was the infamous Human Centipede. This insane and perverse setup almost occupied all of his thoughts. One day while on duty, John suddenly noticed a couple on the surveillance monitor. In the past he only dared to stay in the stage of fantasy, but now he finally had the opportunity to put it into practice. The couple saw that John was short and did not take him seriously at all.
Stop looking at my girlfriend, midget!
Ian, please.
What the fuck, you fucking her? No way in hell. Just let me tell you, there's only one guy who fucks her, and I fuck her real good. So go home and fuck mum now, you dementia talk.
Then broke the woman's legs. To make them completely quiet, he knocked them unconscious, tied them up and stuffed them into the car to take away. But the experimental subjects John needed were obviously more than just two people. Then he went to a warehouse. The warehouse owner looked at this short, ugly, fat man and bluntly asked if he had money. But the owner did not expect that John had completely gone crazy for his plan. In the end, he still rented the warehouse and removed the rental sign at the door. After returning home, John prepared to continue the next day. However, shortly after lying down, his mother walked into the room. Because her son was usually silent, secluded himself all day, the mother was worried he would become a disgusting pervert, so she invited a psychologist. But facing the doctor who had been waiting for a long time, John did not even look at him directly, but focused on observing the centipedes he raised. Only when his mother urged him did he reluctantly sit over. But after a short exchange, the doctor lost patience. In his view, John's problem was already very serious, and the mother was powerless to change the situation. Since her husband had long passed away, she could only bear everything alone. One evening during dinner, the young man upstairs turned up the music again. Unable to tolerate it, the mother picked up a broom and hit the ceiling, hoping they would be quiet. Not long after, there was a rapid knock on the door. It turned out to be the hot-tempered young man from upstairs. Facing questioning, the mother immediately shifted the responsibility to John. She originally thought her son would stand up to protect her, solve the problem like a man, but the result completely disappointed her.
Stop fucking bothering me, you retard! I play my fucking music as loud as I fucking want, okay?
Kill us both. I'm begging you.
Shut your fucking mouth, you old cunt! The fuck? Next time you bash on that fucking ceiling, I'm gonna come down and break your fucking neck!
This man is a man. Even after being humiliated, he still went to work in the parking garage as if nothing had happened. It seemed that only twisted and perverse things could truly attract him. Just then, the surveillance cameras captured a family of 3 entering the garage. John immediately pulled out a handgun and hid along the route they had to pass. After he fired 2 shots, the car came to a stop. The man in the driver's seat had only one last breath left, but because he was black, John showed no mercy and sent him to meet Jesus. When facing the child, however, he hesitated. Perhaps it was because of the shadow of his childhood, or perhaps because of his plans for the Centipede project. In any case, the child survived. After stuffing the 2 of them into the trunk, John returned to the break room. But as he stared at the human centipede, an unusual excitement surged inside him.
Babe, there's a midget Franken in there. What's wrong, love? No, seriously.
But in the next second they were captured and taken to the warehouse, becoming the next targets of the Centipede project. Today's workload was too much, and the overweight John was starting to struggle. He decided to pause for now and went home feeling completely satisfied. However, not long afterward, his mother appeared beside his bed holding a dagger and stabbed downward without hesitation. John was both terrified and furious, but years of cowardice left him with no choice but to retreat back onto the bed and continue sleeping. His mother was deeply disappointed in him and even wanted to take her own life. At that moment, she discovered the notebook hidden beneath John's mattress, which recorded the process of creating a human centipede.
100% medically accurate. Mouth to anus. One digestive system. Is this a perverted film you've been talking about?
Furious, she tore the notebook to pieces, completely destroying John's plan. Emotionally devastated, John walked into the living room. He originally wanted to find comfort by looking at the centipede he kept, but he never expected his mother to throw it away. This completely triggered the twisted darkness deep inside him. While his mother was suffering from a centipede bite, John picked up an iron bar and repeatedly smashed it into her head. He then placed her corpse at the dining table. Noisy music was coming from upstairs, so John violently struck the ceiling with a broom. Then he decisively opened the door. The young man who rushed in saw only his mother's corpse and never noticed John hiding behind the door. After 2 gunshots, the young man collapsed to the ground, and once again John made an obstacle disappear. After cleaning everything up, he once again prepared the tools needed to create the centipede and returned to the parking garage to search for his next target. John saw a familiar face, the psychologist who had previously visited his house, and he immediately shot the overweight driver. The woman who tried to escape only earned a bullet, which was John's favorite. In the end, the remaining doctor appeared calm but was actually powerless. On his deathbed, he tried to lecture as a doctor, not realizing John was not a normal person. 2 gunshots sent the doctor to meet Jesus. Of the 3 people this time, only one could still serve as a centipede component. The woman was shot in the legs and John quickly found her, but she bravely sprayed him with pepper spray. Courageous as she was, it had no effect. She was ultimately loaded into a black van. John returned to the break room, tidied everything up, and prepared to start his real-life human centipede plan, but the phone rang.
Hi, Martin. This is Ariane, Miss Danny's manager. I wanted to confirm that Miss Danny is not delayed and will be landing this morning on London's Heathrow Airport at 6 a.m. your time. I understand your driver will be picking her up. I hope she does a great audition. Thanks. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
He picked up Hannah, who was completely unaware of what was happening. Seeing John's build, she did not suspect he was the director and even insisted that every actor shower before filming, not realizing this time they were filming a real-life human centipede. When Hannah arrived at the warehouse and saw the victims on the floor, she was stunned. John had prepared all the tools, but since he was not a doctor, the subjects remained conscious throughout. Dozens had their teeth broken, knees cut, ligaments and skin on their buttocks handled without anesthesia, and each connection of mouth to anus was crudely stapled together. After an unknown amount of time, the perverse parking lot security guard finally completed a human centipede of dozens of people. Seeing his shocking creation gave him unprecedented psychological satisfaction. To make the centipede survive longer, John poured canned food into a feeding bowl, but Hannah overturned it, which did not change the reality. Then John used a hose and funnel to force feed them, quickly realizing digestion would take time, so he also forced in laxatives to speed up excretion. Everyone in the warehouse was farting, everyone had eaten their fill, and because the stapler connections were crude and the laxatives excessive, some expelled intestinal contents directly. John deprived them of their humanity. When a young man forcibly disconnected from the person in front of him, the little pervert saw his prized creation destroyed, became enraged and shot everyone one by one. In the end, the warehouse was left in dead silence. In reality, however, all of this was just a fantasy John had while watching the Human Centipede movie.